Let's begin with a provocative question you might not want to consider. What if all your efforts are in vain? Hold off on answering. Just ponder it for a moment. Picture your daily grind, waking up, following your routine, working hard to earn a living, doing everything expected of you. Day in and day out you push through, returning home each evening more exhausted than the last, clinging to the quiet hope that someday. This grind will all make sense perhaps in retirement, when you finally have time to yourself. But what if that day is merely a mirage, cleverly crafted to keep you in place? What if the idea of retirement is just an unattainable carrot dangled before you? I'm not here to criticize or depress you. I'm here to reveal a truth that once seen cannot be unseen. It's hidden in plain sight, masquerading as normalcy. The true deception is not lurking in shadows. It exists in the mundane, in the unquestioned routines and the hollow celebrations of success. You've been conditioned to defer your life, to stockpile dreary days in hope of experiencing a handful of radiant ones. They say to work now and enjoy later. It seems sensible, doesn't it? Yet, they omit a crucial detail: there are no guarantees. No one promises you'll make it there, or that it will be worthwhile when you do. Meanwhile, what are you sacrificing? What are you missing out on in this perpetual postponement of freedom? Isn't it odd that the only time you're permitted to truly relish life is when you're too worn out to fully embrace it? When your body isn't as spry and your mind is preoccupied with health rather than aspirations. That's not a reward, it's a cruel trick, a snare. And the most disturbing part is, it's a trap you set for yourself from childhood. You're instructed to follow a linear path: study, work, purchase, save, endure. Then, supposedly, you retire and it all pays off. But consider the retirees you know. Are they truly living their dream lives? How many conclude their journeys without regrets, without wishing they had chosen differently? How many are merely awaiting the end? This isn't an indictment of work or discipline, but a profound questioning of the entire setup. Why do you live the way you do? For whom are you postponing your happiness? What's the value in enduring 4 decades only to attempt savoring life with a diminished zest? This critique is an alarm bell. Because what's at risk is not just your future, but your present, and nobody discusses this. No one tells you that perhaps you shouldn't wait, that the framework you're counting on is outdated, designed for a different era with different expectations. Yet you continue to comply as if it still makes sense. Observe how most people mechanically go through their routines, partaking in a destructive dance for years, and you, sensing that something is amiss, suppress that intuition because facing it is daunting. Because acknowledgement would demand accountability, and taking charge of your own time is perhaps the most daunting challenge imaginable. Isn't it peculiar that the promise of freedom is offered when you're least capable of enjoying it? That familiar saying, one day, when I retire, I will do what I love. What if that day never arrives? Or what if it does? But you no longer enjoy anything. Life doesn't pause. It doesn't align with your retirement plans. It relentlessly moves forward. And while you save up years, life spends them ruthlessly. This isn't just another motivational spiel. It's a live dissection of a lie dressed as a goal. Retirement isn't the prize, it's the tombstone. It marks the point you reach when you have nothing left to offer and lack the vigor to start anew. It's the finale of a script written by someone else. And here's the truly unsettling revelation: no one is forcing you to live this way. No one is coercing you to adhere to this script. You choose to follow it daily. While the voice inside you, once loud and clear, gradually fades away. What if I told you there's another way to live? That you don't have to wait until later to start enjoying life and prioritizing what truly matters. But that requires acknowledging a truth many are reluctant to face: you need to stop conforming. You must release the grip of structured schedules and societal expectations. You must begin living by your own rules, starting today. Silence. That's the part that's unbearable, the silence of realization. In that silence, you start to hear what you've been ignoring for years: the pulse of your existence, the heaviness of your days, the urgency of your life. This video isn't. It's a mirror, and the reflection may not be pleasing, but it might be exactly what you need to awaken. Are you prepared? I doubt it. But let's dive in. You now see the snare. The notion of retirement as a glorious culmination is a facade, wrapped in societal praise. But there's a deeper aspect you must confront directly the way you've been conditioned to crave it. It's not merely that you await retirement. You yearn for it as if it were your salvation. As if everything prior was meaningless without this ultimate page, and that, my friend, is by design. It's emotional manipulation. They have shaped you to believe you only deserve rest after enduring hardship. You pay upfront and then, if there's anything left of you, you may enjoy it. What is that, really? A sophisticated form of bondage. The system doesn't require chains. It needs you to desire your own shackles, to celebrate your sacrifices, to display your fatigue as a badge of honor. So when someone boasts, "I haven't stopped all week," they are met with admiration. But what goes unsaid is how profoundly unhealthy this is. Since when did consuming oneself become a virtue? Look around. How many people live on autopilot, enduring weeks as if they were sentences? They wake up devoid of zeal, go through their days without passion, return home, and the only thing they can manage is to numb their minds in front of a screen. They aren't crafting a life, they are merely surviving, waiting for later as if time had no expiration. But it does. And expiration doesn't warn you. Here's a painful truth: if you don't know how to live now, you won't know how to do it when you retire. Living isn't a switch that flips at a certain age. It's a skill, a choice, and if you've spent decades deferring your joy, subordinating your well-being to a distant promise, what makes you think you'll suddenly master the art of freedom when it finally arrives? You won't, I assure you, because the mind adapts. It becomes accustomed to surviving, to complying, to waiting, and then, when the so-called time to truly live arrives, you lack the emotional strength to support it. You're corroded from the weight. You're free, yet clueless on how to wield that freedom. Instead of relief, this brings anguish. What follows? You seek out new cages. You fill your time with trivial tasks. You create problems. You cling to unnecessary routines. Unwittingly, you need structure, a dictated purpose, because you never learned to define your own. And here's the core issue. No one taught you to contemplate what it means to live. They only taught you to obey. And obedience is not living. Living involves making decisions, taking risks, experiencing feelings, facing failures. And that doesn't fit within the confines of a job contract or retirement plans. That's something else entirely. It's wilder, less stable, but infinitely more genuine. Have you ever wondered why so many people become depressed after? Why some age rapidly, why others pass away shortly thereafter? Because they have lost the framework that defined their existence. Because despite despising it, work provided them with an identity, a sense of I am this. And when that ends, they are left with a void. This void isn't the lack of a corporate purpose or a schedule. It's the absence of a genuine, internal purpose, the kind that emerges only when you truly examine yourself. When you cease being a cog in a system designed to drain you. Here's another uncomfortable question. How often have you questioned whether what you're doing truly makes sense? Not if it's useful, not if it's profitable, but if it resonates with you, if it connects you to something larger, if it makes you feel alive, not just present, if each day contributes to a legacy worth remembering, even if no one else acknowledges it. If you're at a loss for an answer, you're living on borrowed time. You're following a path not of your making. And retirement will merely offer a change of scenery, not a transformation. The same void, just in a different setting. And what's even more troubling, the system is aware of this. It knows and relies on it. Because a content person is a threat, a fulfilled individual doesn't consume thoughtlessly. They don't settle. They don't comply as readily. A person who lives for the present while planning for the future is fading away while waiting for themselves. And this isn't about quitting your job or abandoning everything to escape. No, this is about a quiet revolution. It's about starting to value your days as if they truly matter. Because they do. Every single one. Every cup of coffee. Every conversation. Every awkward silence. This video isn't merely a critique of the system. It's a direct appeal to your conscience. Will you continue allowing others to dictate the worth of your time? Because they are not stealing your life. You're willingly giving it away. Now consider this when you're old. If you reach that point, and find yourself alone in a room filled with more photographs than future plans, what narrative will you recount? Will you claim it was all worthwhile? Will you feel pride or regret? And please, don't tell me, "I did what I had to do." That phrase is the tombstone for countless spirits. What you had to do according to whom? If it wasn't your decision, then you never truly lived. You were merely an echo of someone else. And now, I leave you with the most profound question of all. One that could transform you if you embrace it. What if you don't need more time, but more courage? the courage to live differently, to shatter your mold, to cease pleading for permission to feel liberated, the courage to view your life as a canvas, not as a cell governed by schedules. So act, but not tomorrow, not during your vacation, not when your boss grants you a break. Do it today. Because the soul doesn't understand delay, and if you suppress it sufficiently, it ceases communicating with you. And then, you're truly lost. And if you've listened this far, I want you to demonstrate that this wasn't just another video. Leave a single sentence in the comments: I don't wait, I live. Let the algorithm witness that there are still individuals who refuse to be deceived. There are still those who choose to live consciously. And if this message resonated with you, subscribe. Not for my sake, for yours. Because what's to come will continue to stir depths that others avoid confronting. You didn't come here for entertainment. You came to be ignited, and now I depart, but not like everyone else. I leave like those who steal certainties, leaving you with fewer excuses, more questions, and a sensation in your gut that isn't hunger, it's urgency. See you on the next raid, or perhaps not. Because if you do this right, you might not need to return.